Oh, you again. What do you want? A review? You guys want a review? You want me to tell you what this cigar tastes like? You want to hear my thoughts on it? I don't know if I can do that. Sounds like something you might just have to do for yourself. Nah, I'm just bullshitting. You know I got a review for you. Hold on, guys. What's up, family? What's up? What's up? So today, we're going to be checking out the Hoyo de Monterrey Black Box Robusto. Let me take these shades off, guys. It ain't even that bright out here. It's actually kind of gloomy out today. Kind of gloomy. Been raining off and on the last couple days. So that's what I'm dealing with. Fall's coming, if it ain't already here. But yeah. So anyway, enough with the pitter patter. Let's jump right in here. It's got that sort of barnyard smell, of course. A little sweet tobacco, like some cocoa, some chocolate on the foot there. I haven't got my lights installed out here yet, guys, so I don't know, the lighting's a little crappy. It looks pretty good on the screen as far as the camera goes, but as far as my eyesight goes, not the greatest. So, wrapper's kind of veiny. It's got a nice looking cap on it though. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid looking. But like I said, kind of veiny. The band looks pretty simple. It's a pretty wide band. So, let's get it cut up. Let's see what we got here. We'll see how much spice this has. The description online that I was reading for it mentioned that the black box, the black label, was a spicier addition to the Hoyo de Monterrey family. So, cold draw. It's got like that sweet tobacco kind of chocolatey flavor. Not getting any spice on the cold draw though, so I don't know, we'll see. That's really about it. Just some sweet tobacco with the slight dash of cocoa. Alright, well, we're just going to dive right in here. Maybe, if I can get the lighter to work right. So we're not doing much today, guys. Just killing a little bit of time. Got some stuff to do later. It's actually my mom's birthday tomorrow. And my dad's birthday today. But yeah, mom's birthday Lauro and Dad's birthday today. They are 1 day apart, and I believe they're 1 year apart as well. Kind of funny how that kind of stuff works, eh? So anyway, they're not together anymore. They split up. But so we took Mom out last night for dinner, and we're gonna do the same thing for Dad tonight. Him and his new wife. We're gonna take them out to Pigeon Hill Brewery out in Muskegon, Michigan. We'll go over there and drink some new beer and maybe grab a pie from across the street at the Top Shelf Pizza. It's supposed to be one of the best pizza joints in Muskegon, so we'll see. So this cigar is listed as a full to medium body. I'm going to tell you right now, that's probably accurate because it is a Habano. Woo! And there's the spice. Oh yeah, it's in there, guys. Thick smoke. Whew. Yeah, it's got a little bite on it there, guys. It's got a little bite. So, let's see what we got here, yeah. So like I said, it is a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper. I've never really heard of a Nicaraguan Habano before, but there you have it. Ecuadorian Sumatra binder, and then we've got a mixed filler with Pennsylvanian and Nicaraguan long fillers. So it's got the Nicaraguan, which I like, and it's got the Sumatra, which I do like. I don't know if I haven't done a whole lot of research on the not the word, but I guess the classification of Sumatra tobacco. So this one specifies Ecuadorian Sumatra. So I don't know if there's a difference. But now that I think about it, I have heard of Ecuadorian Habano wrappers. So I guess Ecuadorian Sumatra would be Sumatra that's grown in Ecuador. I don't know. I guess it kind of falls in line with the Nicaraguan Habano. Maybe they got it mixed up. Maybe it's a Sumatra binder with an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. I don't know. We'll have to do a little more research on that one for you. Anyway. So first impressions, definitely has a little bit of spice in there, but it's not overpowering. You get that nice, kind of like a bold tobacco flavor that you usually get from the Nicaraguan filler. Some spice on the retrohale. Cedar. Something tells me that spice is just going to kind of build as the cigar goes on. So like I did say, this is the Robusto, so this is a 5x54. I didn't realize how chunky it actually was until I took it out of the cello. It looked kind of skinnier in the cello, and then I took it out and I'm like, man, that's a chunky Robusto. looked at a couple different sites online as far as price-wise. I forget what the first one was that I looked at, but it had them listed at $105.60 for a box of 20. And that was the 5x54. But if you go over to Thompson Cigars, they have the same 5x54 Robusto. Original price $135.80. They have it marked down to $59.95 for a 20 count box. Now let me tell you something about Thompson Cigars here. So now this might be a biased opinion, but I've only had one interaction with that company, and that's when I bought my nub sampler pack. My nub sampler pack, and I was a little baffled by some of the cigars in there, how poor the quality was on them, is what I'll say. So not a very good experience with Thompson. And they do seem to, so like for instance, when I look at this, and the other site that I had gone to seemed pretty legit. I don't remember what the site was, but so the 105.60 for a box of 20 seemed like a pretty legit site. And then you go over to Thompson, they've got it, essentially what I'm looking at is they have it marked up to 135.80. But then they give you, oh, we got them on sale, you know, for $59.95, you know, $60. You look at that, you say 135 to 60. Well, gosh, that's like half price. You know, it sounds like a good deal, but I've heard a lot of bad rep for Thompson Cigar. I've heard, you know, that they repackage or reband cigars, or they tell you, oh, well, these are just, this is, you know, they might have you a bundle of the Hoyo de Monterrey black labels, but they're a, what do they call that? Well, a factory defect or a factory reject. I don't trust that, guys. I don't trust that at all. But anyway, enough about that. Oh yeah, that spice is building up a little bit, guys. It is building up a little bit. Pardon me for a minute, guys. I got to write down a few notes here. Like I said before, I'm a terrible multitasker when it comes to writing and talking at the same time. It is a nice band. Let me see if I can get the camera to zoom a little bit for you here. It is a nice band. Pretty, it's simple yet flashy. You know what I mean? Simple yet flashy. I like the contrast between the silver and the black. I think that makes it pop just a little bit. Let's see, veiny. It's a pretty thin mascara line. Here we go again. telling you guys, one of these days I'm going to get me a fancy dancy lighter. Not even that cold out here and they're acting up. So we are back in the man cave. Haven't done a whole lot to it yet. Just kind of got stuff all over the place. I still got to get my lighting installed like I mentioned. Other than that, that's about it. Got a couple more pictures to hang, but I forgot to bring them out with me, so that will have to wait. But yeah, so we're just chilling. Alright guys, so we're back. Alright, a couple things to report. I was taking another look at the wrapper. It's kind of lumpy and bumpy. Like I said, the lighting's not the greatest in here. I'm just kind of relying on outside light right now coming through the garage door. But kind of lumpy and bumpy. I mean, it's still a nice looking cigar, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of rough and rugged looking. It does have like this one seam that kind of runs down one side where you can kind of tell where that was. Like I said, it's pretty veiny, but the darkness of the wrapper kind of hides some of the veins. So, as far as the flavor goes, I'm getting kind of like a, I don't know really what to call it, like a medicinal or like an astringent type of subtlety in there, and I think that might be coming from the Habano wrapper. I've had other Habano wrappers too, and for me, a Habano wrapper is not my favorite. I have found a Habano wrapper to me is usually hit or miss. Usually it's like, oh yeah, this is really good, or then it's like kind of this one where it's like, you know, not the greatest kind of deal. I have only ran into one Habano wrapper which I just did not care for the flavor whatsoever, and that was the nub Habano. The nub Habano was, it was too much. The Habano wrapper on that just had like a dirty flavor to it, and it just it didn't really taste that great. This one is, it's bearable. I'll say that it's bearable. I think the Nicaraguan and the Sumatra flavor in there is kind of the base of this. But I think that astringent or that medicinal flavor I talked about, I think that comes from the Habano wrapper. That spiciness I mentioned is almost kind of like, it's not a black pepper. It's almost like, I would say, a cayenne pepper, just for the simple fact that it has like that spicy oomph to it, where it's not just like it's not like a flat spice, like I would consider a black pepper to be like a flat spice, where it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of spicy, but it doesn't really like, it's really hard to describe. So when I think cayenne pepper, I think of like spiciness with like a flair to it, you know what I mean? When I think black pepper, like I said, it's kind of flat. You know, it's a spicy flavor, but it's just kind of flat. It doesn't have any oomph to it, you know. And the cayenne pepper is one of those that just kind of like reaches out and socks you right in the jaw, you know. It's kind of that thing. Although the spiciness of this particular cigar has moved, it's not so much on with the draw and stuff now. It's moved more to the retrohale. So if I retrohale, that's where I end up getting more of the spice now. Definitely has those deeper earthy tones, probably from the Nicaraguan tobacco. I've come to find that the Nicaraguan tobacco holds a little more of the earthiness flavor. As far as the burn goes, though, it's burning pretty well. I do have one spot. You'll see it when I get to it. Oh, right there it is. I got that one spot. I'm waiting to see if that kind of catches up. As you can see, the ash is kind of like a white, semi-gray. Looks pretty compact. We'll see what happens when it comes off. We'll see how compact it is then. But as far as the burn goes, I did do the one touch-up, but It's not too bad. So thus far, construction-wise, it's aiming pretty high on the scales. So the ash is very compact. Squeeze it. Still got the pepper on the retro. That one little spot did not fix itself. I just had to touch that up. So. Good smoke output though. Good smoke output. Kind of smoke would be what I would consider to be thick and chewy. You know, how can smoke be chewy? Well, it's got like that kind of like that same concept of fog so thick you can cut it with a knife, you know, that kind of thing. It's got a density to it. Still getting that kind of weird astringent flavor on the retro. I really need to get some lighting in here. All right. Take these shades off here. You're like, man, it's dark out there. Yeah, it is. It's dark out here today, and I don't need no dang sunglasses. But they are prescription Oakleys, so helps me see a little bit better. So yeah, still chilling, still smoking. Kind of watch the neighbors come and go. Today is a Saturday. Kind of a gloomy day around here. Like I said, it's overcasted. It's been raining off and on all freaking week, you know. I like this time of year because of the temperature, but as far as the weather goes, I could do without the rain. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes you just need some rain because it's a little dry out, but not all the time. Rocking the Rocking the Nightmare Before Christmas gear today. I kind of this hat they actually had on sale. Let me start here. Okay, so every time we go to the mall, I'm sure you guys have seen these stores, Hot Topic, Spencer's, yeah. So I get in trouble when I go into these places because I look at the hats, and if you can't tell, I have a lot of different hats, And I don't really want to call it a fetish, but I like headgear, guys. I'm not talking about old school braces, you know, headgear. So this one in particular, I saw, I believe it was at Spencer's, and they had it on sale. And I kind of like the idea. I like Jack Skellington to begin with, but the whole yin and yang kind of thing to it, you know, good and evil, right and wrong, you know, whatever you want to associate it with. I like that concept. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a cool hat. It fits nice. It is a snapback. I'm not too fond of the snapback style, but I like fitted hats better. But fitted hats cost money, and money is not always something I have to be spending on something like a hat. So work boots, however, I did just go out and buy me a new pair of work boots. Good old Red Wings. Same brand I had last time. My other ones, I've had them for about 2 years now, and they're shot, guys. The stitching's coming undone and all this crazy shit. So, got me some new ones. They're not the ones I wanted. The ones I wanted were probably close to, I don't know, $20, $30 more, and they didn't have my size in stock. I'd have to wait for them, and I'm not a very patient guy. So I went ahead and got a different pair anyway. But they're nice, they're comfy. I like the style. I'm starting to get them broken a little bit, so it's not too bad. They're so the ones I had before were kind of like a high top shoe kind of style. These ones are straight up like military boot style. They come all the way up past your ankles, almost to the top of my crew socks. So pretty tall. Got the triple hook on the side, you know, for your laces to go through, triple hook style. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not a shoe guy. So, but they're nice, they're comfy, and I figured being in Michigan, and you know how shitty our winters get, I'm going to need something that's a little taller to keep the snow and whatnot out. So, we went with these ones. The lady at the store was like, well, you know, they're a little bit wider than the ones you had before. They might fit a little looser. Yeah, that's all right. I needed a new pair, and so I got them. So I hear other reviewers talk about, you know, when they smoke a cigar, they can just tell, like, from the flavors that they're getting what type of, like, a wrapper, binder, filler combination they've got. I'm starting to understand that the more that I smoke these, well, cigars. The more that I smoke cigars, the more you can tell by them. So right now, I can already tell you, if I didn't already know, if I hadn't looked it up, I could probably already tell you that this had a Habano wrapper on it. Strictly because of, like I said, that medicinal sort of astringent flavor, but also that type of Habano style tobacco has a certain, I would classify it right in the ranks of earthiness, but it's got a certain type of earthiness to it that just tells you that's a Habano, you know? One thing I will say is, forgive me if I'm out of the shot here, but I'm trying to get a little light on the end of the cigar. I was about to say that this didn't have any shoe shine to it. I do see a little bit, just a little bit, but it is a very dark wrapper. I know I said it was dark out here, but this is, I mean, it's not oscuro dark by any means, but it's a pretty dark wrapper. I mean, in contrast to the band, no, because it's a black band, but anyway, so yeah, so the Habano flavor, like I said, for me personally, Habanos are either hit or miss. This one is somewhere in between, actually. I didn't quite care for it at first when I was getting that more of like the astringent medicinal flavor out of it. That's kind of going away a little bit. It's not as upfront as it was, so it's tolerable. It's tolerable. Looking into the cap here, the tobacco looks like it's pretty well packed in there. It's pretty well rolled. Looks pretty tight. I do see one spot here where it looks like there might be a stem in there. And the more I watch other people's reviews, in particular, the Meat in the Middle show and then Brother Limac, the more I'm starting to learn more about like the makeup of the cigar and how that affects the flavor. For instance, personally, I always thought, of course, I'm still green with this whole thing, you know, I'm still a newbie. Just started smoking cigars really probably the beginning of the year, so I'm not even a year into this whole deal, and I always thought that the like the spiciness of the cigar came from simply ligero, but turns out, from what I understand, is that some of that spiciness, depending on the type of spiciness, can come from the ligero, but it could also come from stems that are in there, or certain types of tobacco have a certain type of spiciness to it. It's not just ligero that has the spiciness. It's all tobacco. It just depends on the type of tobacco it is. So that has a lot to do with the makeup of the cigar. Obviously has a lot to do with the flavor of the cigar. And then once you learn what type of tobaccos you like, so like for me, I know I like Sumatran and I know I like Nicaraguan. So when I go to look for cigars, I can say, okay, well, what kind of cigar is this? And what does it have in it? What do I think it's going to taste like? And if I think it's going to taste good, I'll pick one up and I'll try it. And then if I know, then I know by smoking it, I'll say, okay, I liked that, or okay, I didn't like that, and here's why. And so then the next time I go to look for a new cigar, I can take that knowledge and I can say, okay, well, this has got the same wrapper, the same binder, or whatever as the last one I had. I didn't particularly care for that, so let's try and find something else. You know, that way I don't spend, you know, I mean, if it's only like a $5 or $6 cigar, you know, that's not a big deal. But if you're talking like upwards of $9, $10, $12, I'm not going to want to spend $10 or $12 on a cigar that I know I'm not going to like. So, the best way, and this would be from a newbie's perspective, my advice to any other newbies that are trying these out, just smoke them, guys. Just smoke them. Get a variety. Get all different kinds. Don't stick to just one certain type of cigar. You know, if you try something and you find out that it's, you know, it's a Nicaraguan puro, which means puro, Nicaraguan puro. Can't roll my R on that one. But Nicaraguan puro is going to be all Nicaraguan wrapper, binder, filler. That's probably going to be a strong cigar right off the bat. I'm going to tell you that. It's probably not something good to start with necessarily, but if you smoke the same types of cigars all the time, right out of the gate, that's what your palate is going to be grown to, and that's the only kind you're going to like. Get a variety. Get flavored cigars. Get non-flavored cigars. Get infused. Get you know, get spicy cigars. Get whatever, you know, anything. Try it all. And I think we're going to have to give this cigar just a little bit more heat because it just about went out on me. So anyway, that would be my advice as a newbie to a newbie. Almost time to refill. Try everything, because, you know, sometimes you might like it, sometimes you might not. So that picture I threw in there is actually a screenshot of what comes up on this new app that Brother Rob told me about. It's called Cigaro. Cigario. I don't know. I'll have to look up the name and get back to you on that. But anyway, so it's an app very similar to a big famous one is the Cigar Dojo. I don't really care for Cigar Dojo. It's more about, that one's more about the networking and posting and telling other people what you're smoking, when you're smoking it, where you're smoking it, that kind of thing. There's another one called Cigar Scanner. Sometimes that one works, sometimes it doesn't. Their database isn't that huge, and a lot of the times you're not going to find the cigar that you want. This new one, which I'll have to look up the name again for you, but this new one works great. And if they don't have the cigar that you're looking for, the cigar that you're smoking in their database, at the touch of your fingertips anyway, you could actually take a picture of it and then mark it as you don't know what it is and send it to them, and they'll get back to you like lickety fucking split, guys. Like I was looking up this one, right, the Hoyo de Monterrey black label or black box Robusto. They didn't have it. So I clicked on there, I sent it to them, and in a matter of like not even 5 minutes, bam, I got an email sitting there waiting for me, telling me everything about the cigar. It pulls up in my notifications, I click on it, and it pulls me right to the app, shows me the picture that I took, along with the full name of the cigar, the origin of the cigar, the company that makes the cigar, the wrapper, binder, filler makeup, which was in that picture. And if you actually scroll down a little farther, I didn't take a whole lot of pictures for you, but this particular app actually lets you shop for the cigars as well. And they don't just do boxes or 5-packs, you know, they can do singles. And I haven't looked at that aspect of the app too much, but from what I've understood is that they don't do just Thompson Cigar or, you know, just Cigar International. They get a list of all of them, guys, all of them. They'll give you the best deals, lowest prices, all that kind of shit. So it's a very cool app. Like I said, give me a minute. I'll get off of here. I'll get back on it and get the actual name for you. But check it out, guys. Check it out. Hold on. Let me get that name for you. All right, yeah. So it's called Cigaro. S-I-G-A-R-O. Cigaro. And the label for it looks kind of like a cigar band, and it's got like a white S on it. So yeah, check it out. Go to the Play Store or the Apple Store, whatever the hell it is, and check it out. Cigaro. Really cool app. I love using it. You could actually, there's a spot in there for you to create a profile, put a picture in, and then you could create lists. So like lists of what's in your humidor or humidors even. They let you add multiple ones. So you can list everything that's in your humidor. It'll load it in there for you with a picture, a whole description, all that good shit. A quantity of what you got in there. And when you smoke one, all you gotta do is there's a button that says smoke now. Excuse me. So you hit the smoke now button, and then you, bam, right there at your fingertips, you can give it a rating, take a picture for it. The particular one that you're smoking too. It's not just look up the name and it throws, you know, just an average picture in there. No, it lets you take a picture of the one that you're smoking right now, the one in your hand. You can take a picture of it, throw it on there, put your rating on there out of 5 stars, you know. Leave a description of it, put in there where you bought it, where you're smoking it, if you had, you know, if you had a pairing with it. So like today, my pairing is just good old Coca-Cola, but you could put your pairing in there with it. And tell everybody what you thought about it, and that actually goes onto their website. So anybody with that app, if they say, "Oh, I'm gonna smoke a, you know, a Hoyo de Monterrey Black Label," they can go to it, and then it'll show all the reviews that have been put on there for it. This one in particular doesn't have one on there yet, so I'm gonna jump on that as soon as I get off of here with you guys and put my notes in there for it as well. So yeah, and then it's got a networking. The networking's not so great at the moment. I've been kind of chatting back and forth with the proprietor for that. They're trying to fix some of the bugs. It is a new app, so there's a few things that don't quite work exactly how they're supposed to. The networking aspect is just one of those things that doesn't quite work yet. So, still waiting on that. None of my lighters are working today. What is going on here? Just can't win for losing, guys. I just can't win for losing with lighters. I tell you, I don't know. I'm cursed when it comes to lighters. It's a damn shame you can't light the sumbitch with a Bic, because Bics seem to work every time, and none of these other ones seem to. This one I know, this is my good Vertigo. It needs to be refilled. So we're gonna work on that here as soon as I get off of here. But I don't know. It just, yeah. See, don't have good luck with these. Alright guys, so we're about halfway through. We're about halfway through this stick here. And the finish on it started, I forgot to even talk about the finish. See, there's just so much to smoking a cigar and doing these reviews. I'm still trying to get used to it all. And so I can give you guys the best review I can. But so the finish on this started out pretty short. And by a short finish, I mean the flavors didn't really linger in your mouth a whole lot. And now I'm getting down towards the end, and it's starting to pick up a little bit. The finish is getting a little bit longer. That spiciness that kind of moved from the front, then just to the retro, is kind of starting to settle in, and it's kind of hitting on the tongue, on the palate right now. So like I had mentioned with that stem might not run, you know, the whole length of the cigar. It could only run, you know, half the length of the cigar, and maybe that's why there's a different sort of spiciness. It's the same like flavor of the spiciness. It's just it changes how it sits on your palate. So I know I believe it was the last Meat in the Middle show that I watched. I forget what the cigar was that they were doing, but they were talking about how with some cigars, the way they roll them and the makeup of it, so like part of the cigar has this sort of tobacco, and then when you get into the other half of the cigar, you know, or the other third of the cigar, it changes the type of tobacco that they have in that particular section of the cigar, so you end up getting a different flavor. And that's what really gives you your complexity to the cigar. As far as the flavor of a cigar goes, the flavors are probably not going to change a whole lot. You might get different flavors, you know, that kind of come and go and here and there, but that's the complexity of the cigar. That's what, that's when it changes like that. It's where that certain tobacco is in the cigar. That would also explain why you get some cigars where, you know, for the first half, it could burn really fast. So that tobacco that's up in the front of the cigar might be a little bit drier, or it's a little bit different blend than what's in the second half, and then the second half burns a little slower. You know, the first half of the cigar seems like it just flies by, and then the second half of the cigar will last you, God, another hour or so. I've ran into that a few times. So I just want to throw this in here real quick. Shout out to brother Lee Mac 912. You can check his stuff out on Facebook and, Lee Mac. Brother Lee Mac 912. You can check him out on YouTube. And he also has an Instagram. And you can also check him out as well as the Meat in the Middle show guys over at irobusto.com. A lot of great stuff from Brother Lee Mac, and he's always giving me shout outs and giving me support and showing his love for me every chance that he can get. So I just wanted to give you a shout out, brother. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your insight. Thanks for everything, man. If it wasn't for you and watching some of your videos, I probably wouldn't have ever got the gumption, you know, even give this a shot, this whole review thing. So, but watching you just made it seem fun, and entertaining. And I know how much I love watching your videos. And I thought, hey, well, you know, I kind of like smoking cigars, and I kind of like sitting here talking to myself too, you know. So I'd give it a shot too. So yeah, thanks, Brother Lee Mac, and good looking. If I'm over your way, I will definitely hit you up, and maybe we can hang out and have a cigar, and hell, maybe we can even do a review together. That'd be kind of cool. Alright guys, so we're coming down to the end of this one here. I'm still kind of messing around with the rating scale, so I'm just going to give it a flat rating here. We're going to say it's average. We'll give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's average. The construction was really good on it. Only had to make a couple touch-ups. Price-wise, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2 out of 5, just because, I don't know, I think it could be a little bit cheaper than it was. I think for the Hoyo Monterrey, you're probably paying for the name, for the brand. Complexity is about average. There's a few ups and downs in there, but overall it was about the same. And then flavor is going to be a 3 as well. It was pretty average. Not a whole lot of, you know, wow in your face kind of stuff. So the Hoyo de Monterrey, Black Box Robusto. I don't know. Check it out, guys. It's worth a try. A little bit of spice in there, but mainly just earthy. Earthy tobacco. So yeah. So that's the end of that one, guys. Feel free to give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more content if you like. Like I said, check out Brother Lee Mac, Lee Mac 912 on YouTube, and meet in the middle. Yeah.